In 2008, you and Ruck put out D.I.R.T, aka the Incredible Rap Team.
Yeah.
Now, how did you guys come up with this album title?
I think Ruck came up with that title. I came up with Nocturnal. He came up with D.I.R.T. Magnum Force was like, we didn't know what we was gonna call that shit. It was like the last minute, let's call it what it is, because we had the whole Magnum Force on it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like the shit, he, you know, when he told me the idea, it was fucking genius to me. I was like, hell yeah.
Because that's what you guys viewed yourself as already anyways, right? Because I think that like in that interview I was referencing at D&D Studios, before you guys settled on Heltah Skeltah, like he said something along those lines, like the Incredible Duo or something, some kind of name that's similar to that. You know, like he said that, like that's what something that you guys were considering too. Like I don't know the name yet. Like we just like the best like rappers together, something like that. Like it was just funny though. Like it kind of played off of that.
I don't know what you talk about specifically, but we had a name before we was Heltah Skeltah. It was trash. I can't tell you what it is. But like when he told me that shit, he was like, yeah, D.I.R.T, the Incredible Rap Team. I was like, fine. Yeah. And we had that idea for years before we actually made the album too.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
So, although this album was technically your guys' reunion album, right, as Heltah Skeltah, it didn't get as much acclaim as Nocturnal and Magnum Force. How did you guys feel about that reception?
We didn't care.
No?
No, we didn't care because we understand the games. Nocturnal and Magnum Force were as good as they were because Priority was a real label.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? Even though we was just a weed sell too. Everybody smoke weed, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we might not have been their priority, but they had that infrastructure and, you know, and those relationships and, you know what I'm saying? Duck Down was a real mom and pop spot. You know what I'm saying? And,
Right.
you know, D.I.R.T was done without that infrastructure of a Priority or any other label. You know what I'm saying? It was like Duck Down and Koch or E1 or whoever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Whoever it was. So we already knew what it was.
So, how did you guys feel about were you guys personally happy with that project?
The album?
Yeah.
I love that album. That's my favorite album lyrically. You know, lyrically. Conceptually, Nocturnal is the best album.
Mm-hmm.
But lyrically, like I just felt like, you know, we were both advanced. You know, we were at a point where, you know, we had both reached a point where I felt like we like, you know, when I be saying that Heltah Skeltah is the best duo, like lyrically, I be meaning that shit. That don't just be standard issue. You know, every rapper, you're supposed to say you the best. It's in the handbook. You have to say that.
Right.
Or niggas ain't gonna respect you. But I promise you, every rapper don't believe that. They don't. But when it comes down to do, like I could name tons of rappers, I'm not, but I could name tons of rappers who do certain things better than I do. But when it comes down to a duo, a lyrical duo, like natural duo, not, you know, like not the ones that you was two solo artists and y'all got together, even them though, just straight lyrical prowess, you gonna have a hard out in finding one better than me and Pete. And that was proven, you know, I started to believe that wholeheartedly, or that began to prove itself to me on D.I.R.T.
You know, I think that what you're saying is right though, because whenever you do anything that you take seriously, you should want to be the best. You should view yourself as, you know, up there, right? Like before this interview started, I already told myself this is gonna be Rock's best interview. You know, I was like, I'm up there. Like, you know, so I mean that's how I feel. Like you should feel that way about yourself, you know, if you take what you do serious.
Yeah, I'm saying, but it's in the handbook, and I'm telling you, everybody don't feel that way though. They don't. You know what I'm saying? They and rightfully so, man. You like the thing. You know what's beautiful about sports? a lot of times, niggas debate who the best all day and all of that, right? But how about you have a one-on-one game between such and such? You know what I'm saying? Like if Kevin Durant and Carmelo Anthony play one-on-one, then we could probably figure out who's the better. You understand what I'm saying? They have like I'm just saying they are very, like, in the sports arena, they know who the best is. You know, they know who the GOAT is. The stats and all of that shit say it. You know what I'm saying? The records and all of that. Yeah, it's debatable. The stats don't show everything. But them niggas, every player know they ain't better than Jordan. All them niggas know. Nah, I ain't better than Jordan. Jordan is different, just that and third. You know what I'm saying? A rapper can feel that way about a certain rapper, but they won't say that.
Right.
They're not gonna say that.
But back to what you're saying though, it's like it's a different things though, because just because you could beat somebody in a one-on-one, that might be your strength though, that you good on doing one-on-one doesn't mean that you make the whole team better, that you're able to bring the best out of everybody, right?
Yeah,
it's similar to like why people feel LeBron is so good that he makes people around him better, right? That's their argument for that.
But that's why I say specifically,
right,
when you want to talk about a duo lyrically, just bar for bar, barbarianism, you're going to have a hard outing finding one better than Heltah Skeltah.
And I found the name that he had said. He said, "We formed the illest tag team." That's what he said. So it's kind of similar to, right?
Yeah, we did kind of refer to ourselves as like the ill tag team or the illest tag. It wasn't a name, but it was a moniker. But we used to say it a lot. Yeah. That makes sense.